My name is Colley Bailey, and I'm a realtor here in Fayetteville, Arkansas with Fathom Realty, and I'm here to provide you with your premium real estate experience. When trying to qualify for a mortgage loan on real estate, what is one of the top factors affecting your eligibility? Your credit score. And just how important is it? Well, let's just consider that you bought a $300,000 house here in Northwest Arkansas. You put down 20% and you had a 30-year note. What's the difference between having a good credit score and a great credit score? Well, it's about $30,000 over the life of the loan. We're talking about an extra $1,000 a year that you would actually be paying on that loan just for having a good credit score instead of having a great credit score. So as you can see, putting in the time, energy, and effort that it takes to have as good of a credit score as you can possibly have is well worth the effort. And the good news is that with only about 30 minutes worth of effort, you can put systems in place that will keep your credit score climbing higher and higher the further that you go into the future. So, are you ready to learn these 3 simple steps to having a better credit score? Okay, so let's first talk about all the factors that influence your credit score. And the first one, by far, is your payment history. This makes up 35% of your credit score. And this is pretty simple. This is just whether you made payments on time or not. Obviously, if you're late making payments or if you're missing payments, your credit score will be lower. The next factor affecting your credit is your debt utilization ratio, and this makes up about 30% of your score. This one's a little bit misunderstood, but it is the percentage of credit that you actually use compared to the amount of credit that is available to you. 15% of your credit score is made up by the length of your credit history, and this is an average in numbers of years for all of your open accounts. So the longer you have had accounts open, the better your credit score. Credit inquiries make up 10% of your score, and this is every time you apply for new credit, your score gets dropped just a little bit. And the final 10% is made up of the account mix. And so ideally you would have a pretty healthy mix between installment credit, like loans, and revolving credit, like credit cards. Now, notice that the top 3 factors make up 80% of your score. So this is really where we should focus. We want to make sure that we're performing at the highest level on these top 3 factors. So the first simple step is to make sure that we never, ever, ever miss a payment. And this is very easy to do. All you got to do is set your accounts up for auto payment. You can set an auto draft from whatever account you want it to come out of, and it will come out automatically every single month. On credit cards, it is best if you can pay your entire balance every single month. I realize that is not possible for everyone, but at least make your minimum payment come out on auto draft, and even better, maybe your minimum payment plus a certain amount over that. Now the second simple step involves your debt utilization ratio, and this is the amount of money that you spend out of your credit accounts versus the amount of money that is available. Ideally, we want to keep this under 10%. So if we had a $5,000 credit card, we wouldn't want to spend more than $500 out of that account. Now this ratio applies even if you pay your balance in full every single month. This is purely the amount of money that you spend. Okay, so if you had a $2,000 credit card and you spent $2,000 every month and then paid it off at the end of the month, you're still using 100% of your debt utilization ratio. Again, it is based on the amount that you spend, not the amount that you pay back or how quickly you pay it back. So the best way to improve this factor is to simply ask your credit issuers to raise your limits. That naturally lowers that debt utilization ratio as long as you continue to use only that amount that you're currently using. Now, if you're one of those people who carries a balance and you're afraid that if you had more available to spend that you would just get more in debt, I don't recommend that you do that. The other thing that you can always do is to pay in weekly installments instead of monthly installments. So, you know, let's say you were you know, you had a $5,000 credit card and you had $2,000 that you usually spent off of that card and paid back every month. Well, instead of that, you say you spent $500 this week, well, pay that off next week before you spend another $500. Pay that one off before you spend another $500, pay that one off before you spend another $500 and pay it off by the end of the month. So you see that doing it that way, your debt utilization ratio never goes above 10%, where the other way, it goes all the way up to 40%. Now the third simple step is to never close an account. This will help extend your credit history. So if you need to keep an old credit card active, but you don't use it very often, an easy thing to do is to find a small automated payment that you're already making, maybe out of your checking account, like a Netflix account or an online subscription service, or you know, maybe it's life insurance or whatever it is. Some small payment that is already automatically being deducted, and put that on that card, and then have that card automatically deducted from your account. So essentially what we're doing is we're setting up a payment chain and making that credit card a link in that chain. Alright, so simply fixing these three things, which make up 80% of your score, will set you on the path toward having great credit. So just to wrap up, automate your payments, raise your limits or make weekly payments, and never close an account. Now, if you'd like to check your score and also look at a calculator to see how future choices may affect your credit, my favorite website for that is creditkarma.com. And to check your eligibility for a home loan, I recommend scoreapprove.com. It does a soft credit pull, which does not count as a credit inquiry and will not negatively affect your score. And if you're watching this on YouTube, the links will be below. Alright, so those are my top 3 simple steps to boost your credit. If there's any other things that you might need from me, any questions that you might have, feel free to call, text, or email. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment below and make sure that you subscribe.